So it turns out that Amazon has a huge selection of pseudo-Lego knockoff building sets. Now maybe this was common knowledge, but I only just recently stumbled on the plethora of knockoff sets that are out there. Now in general, I am a Lego purist, but I have found some knockoff sets that I just couldn't pass up. One such set that I built recently is this super detailed big boy locomotive that sits on the top of my desk. From this set, I learned that these knockoff Lego companies certainly don't meet the quality you expect from Lego itself. Sometimes the pieces are harder to get together, and the instructions can be illogical at times, but the end result, at least in this case, was well worth it. Anyway, I found another set that I just couldn't pass up. It's a character from one of my favorite childhood movies. It's none other than Johnny Five from the Short Circuit movies. Now, this model is the version seen in the first movie because he still has his laser cannon, which was replaced with a toolbox in Part 2. Speaking of Part 2, this set definitely reminds me of the little Johnny Five toys that they were building in that movie. Anyway, let's take a look at the box. The built model that they show on the front of the box sure does look like a pretty good representation of Johnny Five. Here we can see a side-by-side comparison, and while there are certainly some differences, I'd say that they did a pretty good job capturing his likeness. I especially like the details in the neck and the eyes. And I know from the pictures on Amazon that the eyebrow structures are posable so that you can change his expression. I kinda hope they included some red eye variant pieces so that I can make a pissed off J5.
Bad humans.
On second thought, maybe not. Anyway, it's hard to see on the front here, but the set has 1,179 pieces and is rated for ages 8 and up. So let's switch to the back side of the box. So here we can see that some of the features of the set, and one of the big ones is that yes, it has a motorized drivetrain and can be controlled remotely with the included control unit or with a phone app. Now, I'll be honest, this feature is not that important to me. I'd be perfectly happy with this just as a display piece, but that won't stop me from trying it out when it's done. In addition to the remote control, there is articulation in the arms and neck for some posability. Anyway, that's enough about the box. Let's crack this puppy open and see what's inside. All right, here we go. Now I did break the seal, but I have not opened this yet, so let's take a look. Okay. Many bags. At least they number them, which should make the building process a little bit easier. I have noticed with these knockoff companies, they have a penchant for putting very small amounts of pieces in these bags, but then just including a ton of similarly numbered bags. So let's see, we have bags numbered up to at least 5 that I can see here. I mean, these certainly do look like Lego. I do know that they probably won't fit together as well as Lego does. All right. So there's all the pieces. Look at this. It's a ball bearing. It's probably for the back wheel. And we have our remote control unit. Similar to Lego sets versions. And we have our motorized drivetrain. Once again, this does look pretty similar to Lego. It's huge, actually. This is any indication of how big the completed model is going to be. I can't wait to see. All right, so let's get this out of here for now. Spread these out a little bit. And we'll take a look at the book. All right. Oh, they even have a Lego brick separator, or a pseudo-Lego brick separator. List of parts. And a breakdown of what each subset of bag numbers will end up building. All right. These instructions don't look too bad, honestly. I feel like they're better than the ones that came with that big boy locomotive. Okay, and it looks like instructions for the remote control functions. Now, I wasn't sure about this, but it certainly looks like the remote control will also be able to turn Johnny's head to the left and to the right. We'll have to see how that functions when everything's built. But anyway, the back of the instructions looks pretty much just like the back of the box. All right, how many pages are we dealing with here? Oh, and almost exactly 100. 101, including the back cover. Now that's with, on the average of maybe 4 to 5 instruction steps per page. All right. Well, I'm going to situate and organize these bags, and then I'm going to start building. All right, I've sorted through all the bags and pulled out all the number ones. And there's 6 number 1 bags with various types of pieces in each one. You'll notice that we have one set of Technic connector pieces, one bag I mean. We have some wheels over here, among other some random pieces. So one of the tricks that I use for when building Lego sets, even pseudo-Lego sets, are these handy-dandy puzzle trays. They're not just for puzzles anymore, so I will empty the bags into these trays, keep them organized, and keeps them from rolling away, essentially, as well, especially the circular or cylindrical pieces. Kind of surprised that there's so few of the Technic type connectors. Maybe more will be coming later in the build. I'm used to the Technic Lego sets coming with huge heaping bags of these things. I'll try to keep them separated by bag contents, at least at the start. Yeah, there's our pseudo-Lego brick separator. I have a bad habit of leaving 1 or 2 small pieces in the bags, so it's always useful to keep them off to the side until I know I've gotten through all the steps for each set, for each bag set. All right, so I think we're ready to begin. We shouldn't need this. I'll just keep it off to the side here. And think we'll switch over to a bit of a time lapse, at least until we finish these bag number ones, and then we'll have a little bit of a bag one review afterwards. So there we have bags one complete. We're left with a few extra pieces, which I was a little nervous about at first. I went back and looked through to see if I'd missed anything. But it was actually the fact that there were two of each piece, of each extra piece here, which is not very conventional for regular Lego sets. But apparently it might be the convention of this company, because it seems to be mostly two of each thing, except for this. But anyway, after the first group of bags, we're left with essentially the bottom of Johnny 5. We haven't even started on the treads yet, but we have incorporated the motor pack and some gears. So I imagine that I noticed on this motor there were actually two power output feeds. The first was up here where we already have some gears attached, which I think must be related to turning the neck ultimately. And then down here we have what will ultimately be, I imagine, the power for the treads. Now, it's kind of disheartening that this back turning wheel is stationary. It does not rotate at all. And in fact, in order to handle the rotation, which I guess must be handled by the individual treads, there's this ball bearing that fits into this housing back here. It is very loose and falls out very easily. So I think once it's settled down on the ground, it'll just require gravity to keep the superstructure, keeping it in place. But as it stands, it falls out very easily, so I'm just going to keep it out for the time being. So bags one took a lot longer than I expected, so I'm going to take a little break before moving on to the second set of bags. All right, so we're back with bags two. And I didn't really look ahead at the instructions, but just by looking at the contents of these bags, I can already see that we're going to be adding the treads in this grouping, as well as some more gears. Actually, this one's probably going to be very mechanical heavy, considering that we're going to be building the treads. So why don't we just go ahead and dump our bags out into our trays and get started. Now that bag was pretty full, so maybe, we'll see. I might just have that be the extent of that tray. Let's put these ones over here. And I don't know if I mentioned it, but there's 5 different bags marked number 2. All right. It might be that we can fit these Technic pieces. Since they're so small, we can put them in the side over here. And unfortunately, well, they didn't get too messy. All right. So we'll jump into the time lapse and get building on bags 2. All right, so we are now halfway through the set of number 2 bags, which means we have one set of the treads done at the moment. Now, I have noticed that with these knockoff Lego sets, one of the real drawbacks where you lose a lot of quality with respect to Lego is with the Technic style pieces. Now, I think this is going to work fairly well once it's all assembled. It does feel a little loose. I almost feel like I want to maybe take one of the treads out, but the mechanism does seem to work. I hope it continues to work. It does seem a little rickety. Hopefully it stays together. Anyway, let's attach this to the structure that we've built already, to the base. I'm a little nervous, but let's see how it goes. So it looks like we're going to be putting it onto this side. All right. I'm mostly nervous about grabbing this in a way that is going to cause it to fall apart. And let's see if we can see where these things go. Okay, it seems to only really connect in 3 places. These 2 pegs here, and then the driving peg there. So let's see what happens. We have this in the right orientation. Okay, we want to put that just like that. Let's see, that's right, yes. All right. Come on, J5, you can stay together. Okay, I think we got it. Okay. I guess it will remain to be seen whether this will actually work when it is all put together, when it's all completed or not. I guess it's hard to actually see that on the screen, so here's what we have with half of our treads, well, at least one side being done. Now I think I'm going to forgo the time lapse for the second set of treads. It's just going to essentially be the same thing, just in a little bit of a reversed orientation. And I think we'll just pick back up in a little while once I have the second set done, and then we can fit that on there and have pretty much the base of Johnny 5 completed. All right, so I've completed the second part of bag 2. I'm just going to move some stuff out of the way to bring the model as it stands into view a little bit better. So here we have the treads and the lower body complete. I think so the second set of treads was a little bit easier to build than the first. Maybe I can chalk it up to the experience of building the first one, but everything, including the Technic parts, seemed to go together a little bit easier and a little bit better. I'm hoping that everything's together all right, such that it will work when I power it up and I want to take it out for a test drive. I guess we'll see once it is complete. I'm mostly worried that some of the Technic pieces will just come apart when it's in operation, but we will see later on. Anyway, here we are. So bags 2 are done out of 5 groups of bags. The next set, bag 3, will be building the body up a little bit further. And I think we'll just jump into that. So we'll bring out our trays again. Our instructions, moving on to bag 3. And let's see. So bag 3 is composed of 1 big bag and 3 smaller bags. So I feel like this one's going to go a lot quicker than bag 2 and bag 1 because the number of bags is just that much lower. And we're really, I guess at this point, we are still building some structure to it, but it's really going to be adding the main details. Why are these bags so difficult to open? There we go. And the little bags. There's always one corner that's easy to open. It's just a matter of finding it. I found it first time I tried. All right, so we're ready to go. Back to time-lapse. See you at the end of bags 3. so bag 3 are done. And let me move these things out of the way. This thing is actually getting a little too big to fit onto the camera in the way that I have it placed at the moment. So that set of bags actually completed the whole upper body and neck, which was actually very surprising to me. I think we're basically just going to have to put on appendages yet and the head, and we should be good to go. Everything's staying together fairly well. Let me show you what the front looks like. All right. So I'm just going to keep saying it, that the Technic pieces in these knockoff Lego sets are the worst. They are so hard to put together that my fingers are raw from trying to squeeze these things together and not blast everything else apart in the meantime. I think I'm going to be taking a break after this before starting the next bags, just to give my fingers a break. I think the next set of bags 4, are going to be primarily the head. So hopefully there's not as many Technic pieces for that, but I guess we'll see. Anyway, I have looked ahead in the instructions, so it might be possible that I can put the main superstructure to the side and continue building the way I have been, because all of the other parts get built sort of separately and then attached later on. So the head is built all in one set of instructions before it's finally attached later, and the same with the arms and the other accessories. So let's see what we have for the set of bag number 4. So we've got, just like bag 3, we have a sort of larger bag with some bigger pieces. And then a medium, well, I don't know, sort of a small bag, but it's got some little bit larger pieces, including some hose pieces, apparently. I think those will be connecting the neck to the head, if I remember correctly, but we shall see. And one more. Oh, I think I see the eyes in here, which would make sense since we are building the head. So, looks like the eyes are going to be these yellow radar dish pieces. No, there's more dreaded gears in here. Hopefully not too many, it looks like. I think this is mainly going to be a regular Lego type of build for the head here. So why don't we continue along and we will go into the time lapse. All right, so the head is complete, and I must say that I'm pretty happy with it. It's a pretty good likeness, a lot of good details. The eyes look really good. The eyebrows are fully posable. I feel that it might be possible to make an angry Johnny Five by just substituting out these transparent yellow radar dishes for some transparent red ones, perhaps. And maybe, if you really want to be thorough, a red piece right behind it as well, a red circular gear piece. But I think it might be a little bit more difficult than, like, it might not be an easy change out. So maybe I'll just keep it like this. So I'm going to attach it now. Let's see if I can pull this off on camera here. We'll bring in the superstructure so far. And let's see. So it looks like we just have to, this is not going to be easy. Hold on just a second. Just going to attach on the bottom here. This is easier said than done. Hold on a second. All right, the head is now securely attached. Let's see if we can get a good view of it here. Looking pretty good. It's a little pointed off to the side, but I think that is because of the way that I attached the gear structure down through the body. Once I turn the power on and can get the remote, the power functions working, I can face him front. And I got the hoses on there. Pretty good. He's looking a little bare still with no arms and attachments, but we'll get there pretty soon. There's only one set of bags left. So I think we'll just jump ahead and get bags 5 out on the table. So there's quite a few bags numbered 5 here. Well, there's 5 bags numbered 5. So I guess we know where these pieces are going to end up. Essentially in the arms, laser attachment, and that little side tool attachment where the screwdrivers and stuff are in the movie. Oh, we have some extra pieces here. Last set of bags. Can't wait to complete this and try out the power functions. All right, here we go. Last round of pieces, last time lapse. After this, we'll check out the completed model. of bag 5 and the end of the build. Well, almost. I built all the various pieces, but I haven't put them on to the structure yet. Figured I'd save that for the live video. So let me just clear out some various things here. We will need these to attach one of the pieces. So I think I'm going to do this in a different order than what they suggest in the book. So let's move Johnny 5 over here. I don't think it's going to be possible to get him on the full on the video here, but let me just show you the various pieces that I built. Here's the laser. Now, as we'll see in a little bit, I feel like this is not attached to his shoulder like it seems to be in the movie, but it's attached sort of to his waist. Well, we'll get to that soon. So here's the multi-tool that sort of extends from his waist on the other side. This thing was actually quite difficult to get together, and I think it's okay. I don't know why this spins right here, but maybe it'll make sense when we attach it. And of course we have the two arms, which are essentially mirror images of each other. So let's go ahead and start attaching these. I am going to put that tool on first because I feel that may be let's see. It might be easier to get it on without the arms being on. So I'm hesitant to lay this thing down, but maybe I can, so that we can see exactly what's going on here. All right, so it looks like this just goes on here, which doesn't make much sense because won't it just flop around? Let's see, is it telling us that it connects anywhere here? Oh, I think so. I think that piece that was flopping around here is actually going to be a connection piece up here. Yes, indeed. It will go right there, I think. There. All right. And then we get those other two pieces. Where'd they go? Oh, over here. Which just sort of fit on, I guess. Oh, it's on the next page, of course. All right, so we get this one on. Oh, and then this one. Come on. It's on. All right. Now let's put on this arm since we have it in this position. I'm hoping it just sort of snaps on in there, and looks like it does. Okay. Now on the other side, we have this laser, but I think on this side, it's easier to put the arm on first. Then let's move him around a little bit and maybe go to the relevant page of the instruction. So it looks like it literally just goes on like this. Come on. Okay, so it still looks like it's on his shoulder, but there's no way this can be put down into the firing position, unfortunately. I'll have to check the next time I watch the movie, and maybe just so that you can actually see what I'm talking about here. See, it's connected actually down here on the waist, and then it's just one sort of It's kind of rickety structure, unfortunately, but I guess that's the way it is. So here's our completed Johnny 5. I'm going to actually get the camera into a better position. All right, here we have a better view where we can see all of the completed model. So I haven't plugged it in to the power yet to charge it, and I haven't put batteries into this into the remote control yet, but we will get there very soon. I just wanted to show you the completed model and show you some of the articulation points. Now the head does rotate, but it rotates via the remote control. So right now we're going to have to leave it the way it is, pointing a little bit to its right, but we will rotate it forward once we get the power going. So as I pointed out before, we have the articulation in the eyebrows. We have the articulation in the arms. Now these can go forward and backward, and since it's on a ball joint, there is some sort of angular adjustability as well. So we can go back and forward. There is also some articulation at the elbows and at the wrists. So the wrists can rotate, and the fingers can be opened and closed as well for both of the arms, of course. Now, the tool on the side there does not seem to have any articulation. Neither does the steering wheel in the back. Obviously, that was Johnny Five's steering mechanism in the movie, but here it's just for show. I mean, it rolls, but I don't think that it will be used for steering at all. On the other side, or on the back, sort of not much detail on the back. You can see the hoses a little bit more leading up from the neck to the head. And that's essentially, oh, you can easily see the connection point for the laser unit in the back here. It's just opposite of the connection point for that multi-tool. And if I rotate it just once more, you'll see that it's literally just one long unit, and it does have some maneuverability, but really it just comes from this ball joint way back down here. So I can put it into a more upright position, essentially, or just resting on his shoulder. So overall, I think the model looks really good. I think they caught the likeness very well. I think I was a little skeptical about the use of the blue and the silver pieces, but I think it works pretty well to sort of represent a metallic body. I think they captured the details in the neck and the face and the head very well. I'm pretty sure that this was actually yellow in the movie as well, so that's accurate here. I haven't pointed out where we're going to charge, or essentially anything about the motor or its power functionalities, but it actually has a rechargeable lithium battery. And you can kind of see right here the USB. Actually, I can bring it a little bit closer. It's a USB style charging port, and the power button is right above it. So you can see once I turn it on, it's actually searching for a pairing to the remote control, which I haven't filled with batteries yet. But this does tell me that there should be some charge in this. So I think we'll just probably go ahead and put batteries in the remote control and see how well the motor functions work. Be right back. All right, batteries have been installed. It was a simple matter of just unscrewing the back panel here and putting in the two AAA batteries. So let's see how easy this is going to be to sync. So we'll turn that on and we'll turn this on. I think, let's see. Oh, there we go. I guess it works. So let's see. I'm wondering why that is blinking. Maybe it's indicative of low battery. Could be. Anyway, apparently these buttons here rotate the head. I actually wondered if it would do that. I didn't see any reason why it wouldn't, based on the build. I don't know if I remember Johnny Five's head ever completely spinning around in the movie, but I guess we can do that here. So let's try to get it as forward-facing as we can. It's a little coarse. Okay, so looking at the instructions here, I think these other controls should... Oh, okay. Oh. Okay, so it looks like this is going to rotate him to his right. That is a little rough. Not gonna lie. Okay, what about this one? Oh, that one goes the other way. Okay, that's interesting. So how do we get it to go forward? I guess we have to hold both of these. Oh, okay. That is a little rough with those treads. Let's bring him back. I'm a little afraid. Okay, so it's not exactly the best motorized action, but well, it works. Let's see. This is a fairly flat surface on this table, so perhaps we try putting it onto other types of surfaces and see how it fares. Let's try the rug on the floor. Okay, here we are for the carpet test. Let's see if I can actually manage to get this guy moving while holding my camera. No? All right. Okay. Let's try forward. So he goes. Okay. And the turning. Oof, that turning is so rough. Go backward, backward, backward. Okay. Hey, Johnny Five, look here. Whoops. Okay, so, all right. I mean, this isn't bad. Like I said at the beginning, I don't really care too much about the motion features. I will very likely not use them. Well, I'll probably show my kids later, but I think this is mainly going to go in my display case and not really see much motion anyway. But I think the jerky motion is kind of to be expected because of these huge treads. I mean, like, those things are very wide. Let's take a closer look of them. If I can. Oof. Let's try this one. Yeah. Okay. Turn around. They were also very loose, which bothered me from the start. I kind of thought that I might want to take one of the treads out to make it a little tighter, but I don't. Well, it might be something that I try later on. But so far, I guess we can see its limitations. Bye-bye. And oh, that noise of those treads make me think they're going to just pop off at any moment. We can try one more type of floor, and that would be the hardwood floor. So let's take it downstairs and we'll see what we can, how it behaves on that type of floor. All right, so here we are for the hardwood floor test. Now I'm a little nervous about this one just because it's such a smooth surface compared to the carpet and the table. But let's see what we get here. Whoops. I think I got the wrong button combination. Face forward. Okay. Backwards. And forward. I mean, it's not bad. I think it runs just as well on this kind of surface as it did on the carpet. It's still as rumbly as all hell, but I think that is to be expected from the treads, essentially. Let's see, can I get him to go back and back? Whoops, wrong way. Backwards, backwards. And, whoa, wrong button. All right, I think it's this one. Nope. Come to me, J5. Oh, there we go. Anyway, I think that about does it for this build. Like I said before, I'm not that interested in the motorized functions. They're a nice bonus, but if you're buying it just for a toy that you can run around and play around with in the motorized capacity, I think that there are better options out there. This one, it does go. It works, but it's very rumbly, and I'm a little nervous that it's going to fall apart at every moment. The likeness is really good, and it makes a really good display piece, and that is what I'm most happy about. So I think this will pretty much take up a place of honor in my Lego display case, even though it's not technically Lego. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. And if you want to see more builds, let me know. I have a lot of Lego sets that are sort of in the queue for building, so I'm going to be getting to those soon. Anyway, until next time, see you later.
Yo!